Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan J.C. in the building. Oh, yeah. We got 1920 football drive. Who needs hard knocks, baby?
That was a good one.
I was tingling. And it was a cool episode. We got to talk about what was going on in that episode of 1920 Football Drive. Shout out to Nick Rhodey in the building, getting a little over action.
Okay.
He's out in Paris. Didn't even know. I texted him like, my guy, is that you out here? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, wait a minute, Ryan, go find yourself.
Right.
So he ended up finding out through me, which was kind of cool. My bad, I didn't mean to ruin it. Keenan Allen, is he officially gone? Got to talk about can the Bears afford to go all in? And Mel Kiper's on mock draft 17.129, 3.62, 11.7.
And they're all wrong.
They're all wrong. And let me tell you, this one is also wrong. I'm sick of it. But we're going to get things started off asking the question, because if you watch 1920 Drive, there's a very interesting scene in there where the Bears may have revealed their top draft target. Ladies and gentlemen, the date is 4/8/2025. It's 7:03 in the morning. And you know what? I feel like Jordan JC today just might be jiving. Might be a little jiving Jordan JC. I didn't say you were shucking. I said just jiving.
Oh, what is that?
I could just be joking. Like jiving was... Oh, Jesus Christ, Jordan. Oh, God. We're going to get canceled.
Oh, just call me Jiving JC, baby.
Oh, you got to watch this guy. He's dangerous people, man. Oh, God. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Stop playing with us. Push the button. JC, how you feeling this morning?
Oh, feeling good. Feeling rejuvenated. I had a good sleep yesterday. So it's a good Tuesday. Let's get it going. I'm getting more and more antsy as this draft comes closer and closer. I want to get it over with. All right. I want my steak meal from you.
I want to get it. First off, there will be no steak for either of us. I want to get it over with just because I'm tired of mock drafts already.
Yeah.
I am sick of the mocks where this guy's high, this guy's low, this guy's somewhere in the middle. Hey, he's a little too big. He's a little too small. This guy's just right. What?
This guy's dead.
Cross him off the list. That's exactly what it feels like we're going to be doing with a lot of people. But got a chance to take a look at 1920 Football Drive yesterday. I thought that phenomenally done episode. Harrison Graham on the voiceover. I thought that was really cool to hear him, even though Harrison's not a Bears fan. So he does represent the Bears well. He's not a Bears fan, so I wouldn't.
Not an authentic guy.
But big shout out to Harrison Graham from Chicago Bears. Now, big shout out to Nick Rhodey. Just another year. Got his video a couple of times played throughout that video, the Declan Doyle video. There was a part of me, just a small part, where I was a little jelly because I only because I wanted Jordan JC's part in there where it goes.
What part?
If that's what Ben Johnson looks like, Declan Doyle must be dead.
Declan Doyle has to be dead. Yeah, they're not gonna. I haven't had my time in the sun yet. They won't give me my 15 seconds of fame yet.
Oh, you get there, JC.
Right. I'll wait.
But no, man, big shout out to everybody who was a part of that. It was a great video, man. I thought it was a phenomenally done 1920 Football Drive, which we have that. We never needed Hard Knocks. Just keep putting that out, because at least I get to hear something from that.
Yeah, honestly,
and dare I say, get to glean something that could have been revealed from that, because there is a scene in 1920 Football Drive. And actually, I should have just added it in here. Hold on. Let me get the picture up here. That's my fault here.
Oh, there you go.
But there is a scene.
Got an image for
in
you?
1920 Football Drive where Dennis Allen turns around to ask Ryan Poles, where do we have this guy on our list?
By the way, I like that's a very powerful stance he's got going on there.
It's a strong stance. This guy knows his defense. You know what I mean? I feel like he rushed up on Ryan Poles. Hey. Why are you so aggressive? But if you look closely while he's asking, there's a quick glance, little glance to the left, little glance back at Ryan. Who's on the TV back there?
Oh, what do you know? Is that defensive tackle Stacey Dales? No, I'm sorry. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. It's number 11, Mason Graham.
That is Mason Graham on the draft board back there. And listen, I'll tell you what. I think that it is very interesting. First off, that when Dennis Allen asked, the best defensive player on the board is there, Ryan Poles' response to that was that we've got him high. We have him 1 or 2. Now, could be, this is speculation. There's a little bit of speculation. But for where Mason Graham is ranked, that makes perfect sense for where the Bears kind of probably would have to go after him. He'd be a top pick. And it felt like to me, Dark Mind, you calm down.
I was just about to say, relax.
Calm down in the chat.
Relax.
Felt like to me maybe a little bit of information got out there that Mason Graham may be the top guy on this Chicago Bears draft board. And listen, I mean, it makes sense if you want to go after one of the pieces here. But what it would mean is you're probably doing something Ryan Poles has not done in a draft yet. You're probably going to have to trade up. I don't think that Mason Graham, as much as I put the stake on the line, is going to fall to that 10th overall pick. You're probably going to have to move up to go after a player like that. Jordan JC, am I being conspiracy Pat, or do you feel like I might be online there? You feel like I might be in the right direction?
I don't know, but I mean, hey, the images look pretty good. I mean, if you're talking to your defensive coordinator about, a pick that might go as high as 1 or 2 on their draft boards, I would think that would include Mason Graham, number 1 defensive tackle. Obviously, you saw the picture behind him, the image of Stacey talking to him at the same time. So maybe there's a little bit. Yeah, I was about to calm down, guys. It's Good Morning Tuesday. Jesus, relax. Never seen a woman in a suit before. Anyway, like defensive tackle. I mean, that I would feel like that's an issue that we technically don't need to address. But I mean, if you want to talk about really just adding to the depth and the talent that we already have acquired there with Grady Jarrett, Javon Dexter, Odangbo, and Billings, Mason Graham, as I mentioned, that would be like your consolation prize in a sense. So, but you would have to trade up. I mean, he's not going to be there at 10. He will be the number 1 defensive tackle off the board. He might go as high as 5 to Jacksonville. And so that's the one that I'm fine with going up to. I'm fine with moving up. Obviously, that's going to require some draft capital to be given. We talked about what it would take to move up to 4 for like an Abdul Carter situation. If you move up to maybe 4 or 5, you probably would have to give up the same type of capital, the 10th. Maybe one of those second rounders, maybe a later round pick, something like that. But if you're trying to get an impact player like that, and they're kind of giving away, this is the type of guy that they want. I think Ryan Poles mentioned, we were looking for certain traits during the draft. He mentioned that during the video as well, physical, fast. So those are things that Mason Graham definitely checks off on the box.
Yeah, and listen, I think the big thing about Mason Graham is, right, now, I will say this. If he gets past Jacksonville, I don't believe he gets past Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville threw a smoke screen out early, and that it's not real. I think that he's going to go to Jacksonville. But if somehow he gets past Jacksonville, there's not a lot of teams that need that defensive interior position, including the Bears, like you bring up. But the thing that I'll say is, right, that that's a premium player at a premium position, and did I spell reveal wrong? God dang it. We'll fix it.
Bears reveal.
I pulled a Joel. I don't know how I spelled reveal wrong.
That'll just be one of our new words of the day.
And I spelled it right on the description. That's the worst part.
You did.
That's Ravel. The reveal. The reveal. I'll fix it. Just shut up there. No, now you're going to pop up the spell check on me, you bastard. But no, man, I do think that if he does get past there may be an opportunity for the Bears to pick him up. But I think that, to me, this is a conversation on kind of where the Bears' focus is here. And if he's number 1 or number 2 on their draft boards, that means that, hey, this is a guy that we feel we can get at all costs. Now, again, it doesn't mean that they're going to go after him. I think there are some really good players that could still be gotten there. I think that there's some really good players that at 10 you can still come away with and feel good about. But it is that conversation on, are the Bears going to be able to get the player that they want? If he's not one, who is one? I would assume probably Abdul Carter is one on their board because of how high we're talking. And is the focus now, or has the focus always been on the defensive side of the football? I think that's the other thing that really comes out of this, right? Because we've talked about Ashton Genty, we've talked about, Tyler Warren, and we'll talk about him a little bit more here. Is the Bears' focus getting a premier piece on the defensive side of the football? That's what I think really makes this interesting. And when I saw Dennis Allen kind of do that turnaround, and just go like, where do we have him on the board? And I see Mason Graham in the reflection. I'm like, hold on now. Are we still all in on going and getting that blue chip piece, which is what we talked about?
Yeah. And even when going back to the context clues of saying, well, he's 1 or 2 on our board. Do you go up and say trade up to a 4 or 5 and then just take one of the 2 that drop to you? Now you hope that if you get to Jacksonville's, 5th, and you trade with them, you give up whatever it is that you need. Are you saying that, well, whoever falls to us, we'll take out of the 2, out of obviously Abdul and Mason? Is that the scenario that they're willing to do? And so I'm all for that. You heard Ben Johnson in 1920 Football Drive say we want to be aggressive. And so is that part of the plan, is that if they have a chance to move up, and this is the year where they're going all in and saying we're going to address, more issues on the defensive line. We're going to address the depth. We're going to address the talent level. I'm fine with them going up and picking one of the 2 best prospects, blue chip prospects in this year's draft.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. I think that's going to be one to keep an eye on there. I saw that again, like I said the other day, and I was just like, oh, that's very interesting to see who the Bears have on their board. We're going to keep this thing moving right along. Appreciate y'all. Oh, hold on now. Oh, never mind. I thought he was saying something about something else. I was in the chat on that one. That's what my but no, man, we're going to keep this thing moving along. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments below. Do you feel like the Bears revealed a little bit, or what I say, revealed a little bit of information there that wasn't supposed to get out? Or do you feel like I'm just being a little conspiracy Pat on that? Another topic I did want to hit on today, though, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Keenan Allen. We saw this yesterday, and I think we knew. We knew, right? Like, most of us knew. But Keenan Allen officially, I would say you can say officially gone. Saw this yesterday on Twitter. The number 13 has been given away to, and I'm trying
is that to Olamide?
I believe Olamide Zaccheaus is going to be no, I'm sorry, Maurice Alexander.
Oh, okay.
Is going to be wearing the number 13.
Right.
And so Keenan Allen here, because there's no way that what are Maurice Alexander's numbers last year there, Jordan Jason?
He had 0 receptions and 0 yards, and I don't know.
Exactly. Dwight Fred said his
presentation. Oh, that's hilarious.
Coming out. Hooray, Abila. Shut up.
That's hilarious.
Shut up. Maurice Alexander will now be wearing the number 13 for the Chicago Bears, which all but confirms that Keenan Allen is gone. And I mean, listen, I knew the Bears weren't going to bring him back, and I wasn't expecting them to. I think you want that 4th round pick back for the compensatory pick. How would you describe the Keenan Allen time here in Chicago?
I mean, it was serviceable. That would be the perfect word I would give for it. Serviceable. He did what he was supposed to do coming here in a I would say a twilight year, in a sense where you kind of know Keenan Allen was going to be like that safety net for you. You already had your number 1 receiver in DJ Moore. You had an up-and-coming rookie receiver in Roma Dunze that you're going to rely heavily on, that connects with Caleb. And so Keenan Allen was going to be that, maybe red zone threat, the 3rd down guy that you go to that's reliable, somebody that obviously would be a good mentor for these receivers as well, a good locker room presence. And so that's what he kind of gave you. There were spots where you saw Keenan Allen, do what he was supposed to do and dominate like the old Keenan Allen. I believe the Jacksonville Jaguar game, he had 3 touchdowns. And that game when they went to London, right. I want to say he had 3 touchdowns that game.
DJ Moore,
that was probably his best game. Him and Cole that game dominated. I want to say 3.
That's tough if he had 3. I got to pull up the keep going. I got to pull up
but anyway, I mean, you do love Keenan Allen for what he did. I mean, you didn't expect a whole lot. I mean, everybody thought, okay, well, he's coming off of a 1,300 yard season with the Chargers, so you might have thought maybe he would get to that.
4 touchdown day in Jacksonville.
4
touchdown day in Jacksonville.
Okay, 4 touchdowns.
No, I'm sorry. That was the Bears as a whole. You're right. 3 touchdown day in Jacksonville. Yes,
for him.
For him,
okay, so again, he gave you what you thought he would give you. I believe close to maybe 600, 700 yards. That's what you expected, being in that wide receiver 3 role. And so I loved his time here. And again, farewell going back to probably where he started things in LA. From what we're hearing as far as rumors, and moving on.
Listen, I will say this, and I do think he ends up back in LA. The Keenan Allen time here was woefully underwhelming.
Really? Wow.
Listen, because the thing was, you thought that this offense was going to hit the ground running. Now, it was underwhelming for, I think, more reasons than just Keenan Allen. There were times where Caleb Williams was overthrowing guys. There were times where Keenan Allen dropped the football in the end zone wide open, right? There were times where the offensive line was just dead, and so it didn't matter who was playing wide receiver for the Chicago Bears. To me, I felt like Keenan Allen was coming in not to be wide receiver 3, to be wide receiver 2. I felt like Keenan Allen was coming in to be that safety blanket, to be that guy who was going to continually move the change, to be that guy who was going to – you didn't expect all 3 Bears wide receivers to be sub 1,000 yards coming out of this season. No, the Keenan Allen experience was underwhelming, but it didn't hurt because you basically – the only thing I'll say that I feel was beneficial from it was when Keenan kind of got in that groove and got healthy, and you could tell – there were those moments where you could tell that Caleb was his guy, right? Where Caleb's like, all right, bet I don't know where to Keenan. Boom, go to football. And that comfort level for a quarterback in year 1, especially a quarterback who was under as much pressure as Caleb was under the entire season, having that guy essentially be the number 1 guy last season, I do think made Caleb feel a little bit more comfortable at times, and comfort is something Caleb Williams was not afforded last season. So if anything, I do like him for that role, but what we saw to Keenan Allen last season was not what we expected. I expected Keenan Allen to still be 1,000-yard receiver. I mean, in 17 games. Now, granted, he didn't play 17 games, but in 17 games, 1,000 yards is 58 yards a game. That's not too much to ask for Keenan Allen.
I don't know. I guess I'm a little different here because I guess going in, my expectations were kind of low because you already had your two guys in front of them. And so my thought was, well, realistically, you're not going to have the season you had previously, even if you have the capability of it. But then as the season went along, you saw some of the things that just kind of worked against them. They kind of got their offense going a little too slow into the season. He didn't utilize Keenan Allen as many times, and then there were times where Keenan Allen did drop the ball. That was my only issue with Keenan Allen. Was there were some times where he kind of had stone hands, and it was a little surprising for him. When
the first touchdown of the season should have went to Keenan Allen.
It should have went to Keenan Allen. So I agree that there were moments where it's like, whoa, Keenan Allen is Keenan Allen. Why is he dropping balls? But at the end of the day, I expected him to kind of put up the stat line, or at least close to the stat line that he had. Because there were other players in front of him. Now, if you brought him and put him on a team where there was no talent, no receivers, no threats to catch balls, then I would expect more. But I guess for me, wide receiver 3, I would say, okay, no matter who you're bringing into that role, if they give you 6 touchdowns in a season, 700 to 800 yards, to me, that's a job well done. I wouldn't call it underwhelming because overall, I feel like he did more of his job than not. But I don't know.
I don't think Keenan was wide receiver 3 though. You said that a couple of times. Like I don't think Keenan was wide. Like I think we clearly thought he was wide receiver 2 coming in.
Rome kind of took off at the end of the season. I feel like Caleb relied on Rome in those clutch moments when he needed to go to somebody, and it kind of went away from Keenan. Like
that's after Keenan had been dropping the football all over the place. I go away from him.
Well, I guess that's what I'm overlooking. Yeah, I don't know. I guess underwhelming just seems a little too harsh to me. I like if we're grading it C plus.
Yeah, I give Crimson this one. Crimson usually be just going hard, but not for $20 million.
$20 million a fourth. Yeah, I mean you can't deny the contract.
You get the fourth back though. You get the fourth back though. I think that is Keenan Allen started. How is he wide receiver 3? Because there's 3 wide receivers on the field.
Yeah. Chopper Keeper, I don't know about that one, brother.
We didn't have a lot of chipping blockers in there, unfortunately, for Caleb Williams. There wasn't a lot of help on the offensive line. We were running 3 wide receivers on the field. Rome, Keenan, and DJ were on the field a lot.
Shut up, bro. Listen, Mo. You said 4th down was wrong time. That's what I'm saying. Like Caleb gave it to him a million times in those moments where they needed to get the first down. It was like he started to gain that trust, I believe, more with Rome in the latter part of the season, and that's why it made me feel like Rome took over that wide receiver 2 role, which you kind of thought was going to happen eventually because of his talent level. But you know, maybe that's just me. I don't know. Keenan did what I thought he did. You know, he give him a pass grade.
Hey, I tell you what, Keenan, let that hair go. I remember that. That was crazy work, bro. That was crazy work. Thank you for all your contributions here in Chicago, Keenan Allen.
Shout out Keenan Allen, yeah.
Hopefully LA works out for you a little bit better than things worked out here because Chargers look good, actually. I like what I'm saying from the Chargers. By the way, Jordan JC, over 100 over 200 in that shit. Over 300 in that shit. 300.
Good morning.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. 227 on the YouTube side. Let's get 227 likes on the video. 79 on the Twitter side, man. Retweet this mug, man. Retweet. Share this up to your mama. What Ringo used to say, tell your mama to tell your mama.
By the way, shout out real quick. I do want to give a shout out. I didn't even realize this. A couple of these guys were in there live with me as I was watching 1920 Football Drive. Want to say shout out to Bulls Daily. I didn't actually reach out to you during the drive. I was talking to King Booker World and Relentless Mikey. So shout out to you guys, man. While you all were in the chat.
They football junkies.
Caught alive, man. Yeah, they were going nuts.
That's cocaine right there for Bears. 1920 Football Drive. That's cocaine right there, man. McMuffin said, "My mama does not have a Twitter. Send it to her on YouTube. Man. Everybody's got YouTube. Just send her a message. Say, watch this. Push the like button and enjoy the content."
Exactly.
Watch out for Jordan JC. Jordan JC is a wild boy around moms. All right, let's keep this thing moving along, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to Show and Love. Jordan JC, let's take a quick break here. Listen to a word from our sponsors, and then when we come back, talk about a couple of different mocks. There's some big mocks out there. One that says the Bears should be going all in Pafif. And Mel Kiper's dropped mock draft 732.300.
However many it is.
We'll be talking about both of those on the other side of this, because I do think it is a larger conversation like we were having at the beginning of this. Can the Bears afford to go all in, even if it's not who PFF had selected? We'll talk about all that and more coming up next. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. That's right, Bears Junkie. You rock out with your NFL mock out. I see you. Shout out to you. Welcome back. Talked about a little conspiracy theory, Pat, in the beginning of the episode. Did the Bears reveal the top target? Yes, we talked about there. Is Keenan Allen officially gone? I think we know the answer to that. Who's Maurice Alexander?
What in the world?
A lot to still get into on today's episode, man, but we do want to let you guys know about an event that we are going to be throwing here. And that's right, the draft party is on, ladies and gentlemen. The Breeze draft party going to be happening for day one of the draft, Thursday, April 24th, 6 p.m. until the final pick, and maybe a little bit later. There will be a bartender on staff there, so we will have drinks. There will be food. That is going to be at Ultimate Gaming Experience out in Orland Park, so make sure to pull up with us out there. It's going to be a great time. Tickets are on sale now. $10 to get in, $20 if you want your first drink included with it. And then there's a couple of VIP seats that are available for if you just don't want to be around the crowd. You want to feel a little bit special, you know what I mean? Get a drink, get a little bubbly, get a little VIP section. I'm not mad at it, man. So pull up with us. Ultimate Gaming Experience, April 24th. Going to be a heck of a time, and we are going to be live during the whole thing. Can't wait to come kick it with you guys, man. As Relentless Mikey said, bring your meat juice. Bring your meat juice.
You never know if you have a nice steak ready for you.
Yeah, sometimes a little au jus.
I don't know.
A little au jus. You love a good au jus, don't you?
I do love some au jus.
I can see it in your eyes. Hey, man, PFF put out one of their recent mocks, and nice mock. I'd say this is a nice mock because you come away with a really good player in this mock draft. But, and there's always a but. In this mock draft, the Chicago Bears move up to take Abdul Carter. I'm tingly.
All right. Where do they move up to, Pat?
Right. But the Chicago Bears in this situation trade away their first round pick.
Okay.
39.
Let's see that.
149, 148.
Okay, 148. All right.
So your fifth round pick.
All right. That's it.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but I'm fine with that.
For Abdul Carter. That was the question. Can the Bears go all in? Are the Bears in a position here where they can actually go all in?
Whoa. I'm seeing the article now. They're also giving up next year's first round pick?
Yeah. You were jumping the gun on me. I was letting you get there.
What? Two firsts?
Two firsts.
Okay. All right.
39. Fifth round pick. Next year's first. Abdul Carter is gotten. You still have a second round pick. Your defensive line is set. I don't think you can do it. I'm an all-in guy. You could go all in. And here's the thing. I'm fine with you going all in if you're trading future picks. I would give up the 2 first round picks this year, next year. I'll give you a third next year. I'll give you a future second. I want to push this draft stuff off as far as possible.
You try to keep all your second and third.
This is a draft that teams will be built in. This is a draft that teams will be built in. I want as many of these picks as humanly possible. Also, listen, the Jimmy Johnson chart is cool. It doesn't apply here. There's no way a team is going to give up Abdul Carter for a first round pick and a second round pick. And because the draft capital is lower, there's not going to be more. Like there's just no way to do that I see that happening. I'm fine with you going all in, but don't go all in from this year's draft. Because this is a draft. The Patriots have a ton of picks in this year's draft. The Patriots will be built this year.
Yeah.
They will add to it as years go by. But most of what the Patriots are going to be, if they draft properly, will be built this year. Look how Ryan Poles talks about this draft. Ryan Poles talks about this draft. He said you can find talent you can find talent that's on the same level at 10 all the way down to 50. That's
a good combination right there.
I like what you did there, man. Shout out to you, my guy.
All right.
We run a family-friendly show here, but I'll allow it. He's bleeping out a little bit. I'll allow it. Oh, God. Oh, there. That's my thing. I'm fine with you going all in for Abdul Carter. Go in for the future. Give up some future pieces. Because the thing is, right, like even to this day, if you did this for essentially, this is a Micah Parsons type of player. And I know that's a cop out, kind of a conversation because Micah Parsons is played the same position, wore the same number, is all these things at Penn State, same school, all of that. But there's not going to be a player that comes out for the next few years that's Micah Parsons. Right, I'd still give up a lot of draft capital for Micah Parsons because you're not going to get a Micah Parsons in the draft. If you feel that Abdul Carter is Micah Parsons, that to me is a conversation that I'm willing to have on. You give up a couple of firsts, you give up a future third, you give up a future whatever it is, because there's not going to be that guy at any of those positions, right? But not this year, because this is a draft that to me, and I've said this a couple of times, this is the 2016 draft to me. This is a draft where you're getting all pro. You're getting Derrick Henry in the second round. You're getting Ronnie Stanley at 8. You're getting all pro players later on in the draft. You're getting Hall of Famers in the second and third round. Now, can I guarantee them those are going to be Hall of Famers? No, but that's how this draft feels to me feels very similar in that regard, where it's just like, because this is the thing, Jordan, every time we do one of these mock drafts or whatever it is, what do we hear? Well, there's no way that guy's going to fall past 15. Only 15 people can be 1 through 15. Somebody's going to fall. Listen, I love Omarion Hampton.
Yeah.
I love Omarion Hampton. I think that he's the guy. He may be a second-round pick because there's so much talent and people are moving up and now people are moving down, and the running back position may start to go further and further down because the offensive linemen are going further and further up. Like that's the reality of this draft. There's a ton of talent here. You cannot go all in on this year's draft.
I was fine with this mock PFF, but my goodness, when you lost me when you said you were giving up next year's first round, and I'm actually disagreeing with you. I think that I don't have a problem giving up some of this year's draft capital. If you're giving up 1039, and heck, if you're giving up 72 and 148, but if you're giving up next year's first, I wouldn't do that. I would go all in for a prospect like Abdul by giving away some of the capital this year and still being able to address some other areas with your second round pick, your additional second round pick, and then later rounds. You just have to be smart with it. But passing on a prospect like Abdul Carter, if you can go up that high, I feel like you would feel it on the back end, because we've seen where the Bears have been in a position where they've almost had a bite at the apple. We just talked about recently, being a pick away from getting Aaron Donald versus when we got Kyle Fuller. We know that Kyle Fuller was a really, really good player for the Bears, but Aaron Donald is generational. He's otherworldly. He's legendary. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And so when you're able to get a prospect that looks as if he is going to be that special as Abdul Carter looks to be, I'm fine with that. I have no problem giving up this year's capital. But again, that's just me. I'm looking at it as, if you get this year and you because we've addressed so many things in the trenches, the next year, if there's another prospect that comes out, say we need to address tight end, or we need to address maybe another wide receiver, or whatever the case may be, then we can do that because we still have the first round pick. I'm a little hesitant to give up that first rounder for next year.
See, I'm fine with giving up the future because I don't know what that's going to be yet. All right, we can all be excited about the whole draft and all the mugs go into college next year and not look like those guys. Like, I don't know. That's tough for me. That would be tough for me to give up this year's draft because I know the talent that's in here. You know what I mean? Like, I know the talent that's coming out of this year's draft. I would love to have a ton of it, but I guess if you get the best of the talent, that's a great feeling as well. Let's finish it out here with this, Jordan JC. Let us know how you guys feel. Do you feel like the Chicago Bears can go all in on Donald, on Abdul Carter?
The next
do you feel like that is a position that the Bears could be in where, listen, it doesn't matter that you got all these holes to fill that big one. Take that for what you will. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let's finish it out here, Jordan JC. Mel Kiper's back at it again. He's getting worse.
For the 1,000th time, huh?
He's getting worse. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like that.
Is it a joke at this point? Like,
there's part of me that I look at his mock draft and listen. This is the. I don't like it. So
he tried to make an excuse.
I tried to make an excuse for him because Mel's a good dude. Mel really is like a really good dude.
No, you didn't use the.
But I don't like his mock draft. I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. I will say I do think that early on he's fairly accurate here, and I do wonder if the Bears, do go this direction because of the conversation we have. They're taking the best talent available and different things like that. Number one, he's got Tennessee taking Cam Ward. Number two, Travis Hunter to the Cleveland Browns, which is interesting. Seems like a lot of the Shador love has worn off for a lot of teams here. Number three, Abdul Carter to the New York Giants. Number four, Will Campbell going to the Patriots. So far, getting on all cylinders. Number five, Mason Graham
There's the guy.
To the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 6, Ashton Genty.
I don't like it.
To the Las Vegas Raiders. Number 7, how's your Membo? Armand Membo going to the New York Jets. Number 8, Jalen Walker to the Carolina Panthers.
Getting a lot of love lately. Yeah.
Number 9, taking a swing and possibly a miss. Shador Sanders to the New Orleans Saints.
Interesting.
And at number 10, the Chicago Bears take Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State. Now, I have said this a couple of times, right? With a lot of the moves that the Bears have made in the offseason, if the Bears do end up going Genty, if the Bears do end up going Tyler Warren, I'm not going to flip a table right at that moment. I'll just go, all right. It is what it is. Okay, let's see. It better work.
That's called
take a guy that high. Tyler Warren, which I don't think he is, better be Brock Bowers. He better be Trey McBride. He better be Sam Laporta. He better be the best tight end.
That fell off this year, though.
He better be a top 5 tight end in the NFL. Well, you got to give him time to do it. No.
Give him a little time.
Because there is a lot of pieces still on this board. At that point, I wouldn't be mad if you listen. Mike Green, you know how I feel about him.
Doggone right.
Lil Mac 2.0. I'd take a Jahad Campbell at that point if that's the direction that we're going to go right there. Right? I don't even think, and I don't know about that. Like I think there's a lot of love for Tyler Warren because of how versatile he is, and I do think that there has to be a trade partner to trade back. So maybe you couldn't trade back. But if you can't trade back, I don't know if Tyler Warren is the move that you want to be making that. Like maybe there is a reach that you take. Heck, maybe if you're going to go, if you were thinking running back anyway, and Omarion Hampton is the move. By the way, Omarion Hampton, 12 to the Dallas Cowboys. That solves the issues they have.
I actually could see that.
Willie Lampkin said, I'd take William Evan Lampkin.
Willie Lampkin says he'd take himself. Oh, shout out to Willie Lampkin.
I'm drafting me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Trey McBride that high. Listen, if you do it, fine. It is what it is. I'm sorry, not Trey McBride. Trey
Tyler
McBride.
Ward.
Tyler Warren that high.
Yeah.
If you do it, it's fine. He better be Trey McBride. He better be one of them top dogs in the NFL very quickly.
He's a versatile tight end.
Because that's what you've been getting out of the draft the last couple of years.
Yeah. He's a versatile tight end. I think that's the potential that you're getting from him, but he has to be in the right situation. I don't think this is the situation that you're going to bring him in and you're going to see those type of numbers. Like if you're talking about Brock Bowers' production, Brock Bowers didn't really have a lot of people to compete with outside of who else was on the team before he got traded to the Jets. The world, Aaron Rodgers' guy. Good Lord, have mercy. Devontae Adams. Yeah, like there's teams where it's like, okay, you clearly have to be the number 1 or number 2 guy that we go to. Here, Tyler Warren's going to be lower in the depth chart. He's going to be behind Cole Kmet at least to start in the tight end room. Let alone he's going to be behind Rome and DJ and probably a couple of the running backs out of the backfield for receptions. So that's the other thing is that you have to keep in mind. Yeah, he could be very talented. He could be a quote unquote a top 5, top 10 type of talent in the NFL. But will the production show it because of the team that he's on and the other, having to share the ball with all these other people, all these other skill level players. So that's my only concern is, are you wasting a pick on him here with this team versus other teams when you have behind him San Francisco's taking Will Johnson? I'll be honest with you. If you take Will Johnson, I'm also not going to be mad at that because, cornerback is always another,
I'd be mad at that.
You'd be mad at that? I wouldn't be mad at that. Will Johnson.
I'd be pissed if we took a DB.
Will Johnson is nice.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right, fine. Will's fine. I wouldn't be mad. But Omarion Hampton, still on the board. As you mentioned before, you had Mike Green. Honestly, that would probably be my number 1 choice. Mike Green, if he's still on the board at 10, I'm taking him over anybody. Like that's who you go and address defensive end.
Yeah.
I'm not getting Tyler Warren.
Listen, I'm there with you. You know how I feel about Mike Green. We talked about it yesterday. I think he's a dog. I know everybody keeps talking about the sexual assault charges that have been brought up against him as far as or accusations, not charges, accusations. Right. As far as I'm concerned, right now they are accusations. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he didn't do. I'm talking about him as a football player. He's a heck of a football player. Also, as bad as it is, if he's talented, he's going to play in the NFL anyway. I'd rather him play on my team. That's how the NFL is. The NFL does not care. There are literally murderers that have played in this league. Legitimate murderer.
And I'm being honest, yes.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If the evidence wasn't so woefully stacked against Aaron Hernandez, he still would be playing right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just that's football. We sit there and we want to have this high moral ground on all of these people, and I don't know what they did, what they didn't do, and that's how a lot of people felt about Jalen Carter until they saw Jalen Carter game wrecking, and now all of a sudden mugs were like, "Oh my God, we need Jalen Carter." Oh, we forgot about that death that he caused real quick, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah. Almost a thing of the past.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Ray Lewis in the second round of this draft. He was just an accomplice. Oh, okay. In the second round of this draft, at 39 and at 41, the Chicago Bears going to completely. I would say this is probably where Mel redeems himself a little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a surprising direction in this one. Actually, I do like the move here. At 39, they go Walter Nolan, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. Listen, Grady Jarrett's 32 years old. That's the realistic. That's a funny joke, Dark Minds. You got to relax. That's a realistic. That's the realistic scenario. That he's not going to be here very long. Right. Yeah. He's not. He's got, maybe 2-3 years. Maybe 2 years with the Chicago Bears. That's really the most that you're hoping for. You're going to have to replace that position quickly. There are pieces that can do that here. And Walter Nolan on the board. A lot of people have gone ahead of him that I would have wanted the Bears to take in that situation. But I like a Walter Nolan at 39, JC.
I love Walter Nolan. He's one of the top 3 defensive tackles that I've always mentioned. So if you get him in the second round, that's a win, a disruptive interior presence that you add on again to the guys that you already have. You mentioned, Grady Jarrett, as much as he talked about, his better years are ahead of him, and, he's rah-rahing with the impressive interview with the Bears, the press conference with the Bears. I think that he is going to show his age. I think you're going to use him in spots. You're not going to lean heavily on Grady Jarrett. And so you need a younger presence in there along with the Dangbo and a Javon Dexter. So Walter Nolan definitely makes sense. And then, of course, TreVeyon Henderson. I love TreVeyon Henderson, the Iowa State running back as well. We talked about him being the best blocking running back in the draft as well. And so you have that part of his game there as well. His ability to see the whole, has his vision, and also being able to kind of have not elite speed, but have enough speed to break away from defenders. And so he's a capable running back. A lot of running backs in this draft. And so I wouldn't mind if you came away with the TreVeyon Henderson.
Well, that's actually what happens. At 41, the Chicago Bears come away with TreVeyon Henderson.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I?
You son of a, you read the drafts.
I'm sorry. I'm all over the place today.
By the way, I did want to point this out as well. At 40, in between the Chicago Bears, sandwiched in there, the New Orleans Saints take Azariah Thompson out of Florida State, and he's getting some comparisons to one Kool-Aid McKinstry. Shout out to
Kool-Aid. My God.
Kool-Aid's back in the building, baby. But no, man, listen, I think here's the thing. I don't mind the second round of this draft. I would almost say, and I know we cook Mel Kiper on here a little bit, but I would almost say this is not a terrible mock because it's only a 2-rounder. But what I will say is you are taking an incredible chance if you take tight end 10. You better have a generational tight end. You better have baby Gronk. You better have baby Kelsey. He better be somebody, because when I look at his tape, and I think he is a good player. I think he is a top talent. I think he's a top 12 to 15 tight end in this league.
Mm-hmm. When he puts it all together, you think that's his ceiling?
Which is solid. Good player.
That's what Cole is, though, right?
I know. Now he runs away from people a little more than Cole, and he doesn't. He's coming in a little bit further along than Cole Kmet. But yeah, I when I see his tape, like, to me, it's not, this guy's going to be a game-changing tight end. It is that, he's going to be a good piece and a good offense.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I want at 10.
You don't want a piece. You want somebody that's going to impact a little bit more than just the norm. And that's what I'm afraid of. Like I said, if this team didn't have a legit tight end on it already, then yes, I would be fine with that. But this is not necessarily the roster where you put a Tyler Warren and expect him to shine or to just showcase everything that he is capable of doing. It's going to take a few years before you kind of get the most out of a Tyler Warren. And at that point, then, are you wasting, again, the capital, the value of that pick at 10?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd go a different route.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening here. Bears got a lot of options available to them. I think the draft is going to be incredibly interesting, especially on day one, because what if we throw this whole draft party and the Bears end up just trading out of the first round altogether? Get as many picks as possible. I'm just saying. They're eyeballing Willie Lampkin. You already know what it is. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. By the way, we're not saying he's Cole Kmet. We're saying that I'm saying that I think he's in the range of where Cole Kmet is. Cole Kmet gets the football. Cole Kmet's a top 15 tight end, top 10, top 12 tight end.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think he is. I think Tyler Warren's going to be a top 12. By the way, a lot of the exciting plays that Tyler Warren has are running plays.
Yeah, the top tight ends in the league, they're usually the go-to guys on their teams. Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, George Kittle, like they're the people that are usually the 1 or 2 option on their teams. Cole Kmet is not our 1 or 2 option. It's DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and even last year Keenan Allen. You bring Tyler Warren in here, you're technically, you might be wasting his talent here, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think, to me, it's I wouldn't roll with him on that.
Yeah,
at 10 to me. But hey, we'll see what the Bears end up doing, man. Seems like Mason Graham might be their guy, though. Again, conspiracy theory.
Yeah, man, that might mean I might owe you a steak.
Stacey Dale's 10. Yeah, does that work if they draft Mason Graham anywhere? Is it only?
It doesn't matter if they draft Mason. No, I'll give it to you. If they draft Mason Graham, you still win.
All right, I'll take that. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to Show It Love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We go get up out of here, man. As always, we'll, of course, have content coming you guys' way throughout the day. If you have not done so. Oh, by the way, before we get out of here, Jordan JC, we do have over 400 in the show. 400. There we go. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us. As always, man, we'll be back with more content throughout the day. And, of course, make sure to tap in with us on all platforms. We'll be live over on Chicago Bulls Breeze later today. Of course, Chicago Bears Breeze, the super producer Joel holding that down. And pull up for the draft party. Link is in the description below. The Windy City Breeze draft party up at Ultimate Gaming Experience. Drinks, food, all that good stuff. Video games if you want them. I don't know who's doing that. But, yeah, man, a lot of fun. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bed down. One love. Peace.